Today, I want to share the honest truth with everyone why we older single women aren't in a rush to get married. I'm 39 this year, have a PhD, and would be considered a high quality older single woman. The reason we don't marry? Frankly, we're too capable, and there aren't many men out there who match us. In reality, women like us are somewhat pitiful, and you'll see why when I explain. First, when a woman marries, she is no longer a part of her family, and anything her in laws own has nothing to do with her, let alone being able to inherit it. After marriage, you're expected to have a child who won't even carry your surname. Then, you're the one raising this child, and meanwhile, you're still expected to be financially independent. If you don't earn your own money, no one respects you. And if you divorce, regardless of fault, you often end up with nothing and may even be labeled as abandoning your family. We older single women see through marriage's realities, which is why we've focused on studying, getting degrees, and protecting ourselves. Yet men turn around and say we're too highly educated and too picky. They have no idea how hard it is for us at 39, nor why we're unwilling to settle. We've achieved what we have through our own hard work, so why should we be relegated to being housewives?
I'm 41, single, and child-free, and I've been searching online for someone for some time, but nothing's really progressed. Sure, I've come across a few decent ones, but most are based in other cities. Since I've worked in Beijing for so many years, moving to a new city at my age could be tough. So, I hesitate about dating long distance. It just seems unreliable. Recently, I did go on a blind date with someone working here in Beijing, although not a local. We were mutually satisfied with each other's height, looks, work, and values. But when it came to discussing the dowry, things fell apart. He asked how much was customary in my hometown, and I said it's usually around 168,000 yuan, maybe more for well-off families, depending on the groom. His expression immediately changed. He thought it was too high. I explained that dowries are mostly symbolic and that the bride's family typically returns the money. But he said he'd think about it, and I never heard from him again. Friends, do you think my request was excessive? I don't feel it was, especially since I didn't ask him to buy property in Beijing.
I'm 38, single, and have no kids. Sometimes I wonder if my singleness is just my fate, or if I'm too picky. I've noticed some men's thoughts are truly off base. The private messages I receive are sometimes so bizarre they keep me up at night. Sure, 38 is older, and having a child would make me an older mom, which is a disadvantage for single women my age. But does that mean I should settle for someone a decade older? The way some men see it, women our age are like produce on the verge of spoiling, something they'd be doing us a favor to rescue. In their eyes, single women past a certain age should either resign themselves to a lonely old age or marry someone who's either severely disabled or already elderly. Is that really all that's left for us? Am I really unable to find a decent person? Do I have no value now that I'm older? It's just frustrating.
What kind of husband should I be looking for? Recently, I've received lots of advice through comments, live streams, and private messages. Today, I wanted to ask everyone directly, what kind of husband should I look for? I'm 35, almost 36, 168 centimeters tall, usually around 55 kilograms, though I've gained a little weight lately. My skin is fair, my figure's alright, and I have big eyes. I'm no beauty, but I'm not ugly either. Yes, I use beauty filters, but if you reduce that effect by about 20%, that's what I really look like. I have a master's degree, a stable job in Beijing with a monthly salary over 10,000 yuan, a small old apartment with a mortgage that I can comfortably cover. I do housework, cook, and am great with pastries, steamed buns, dumplings, typical Shaanxi foods I'm really good at. I'm warm, cheerful, positive, and outgoing. I'm a good communicator, expressive, and provide emotional support. My family's very happy, and my parents are financially independent, so I don't need to worry about them. I don't have any siblings. What kind of partner should I be looking for? Of course, I have flaws. I'm a bit impatient, so I don't get along well with very introverted people. There's more, which you'd get to know over time.
I'm 35, born in 1990, and recently I noticed that I've lost that young girl look in photos. No matter how I pose, it's just not there anymore. Even if your skin is still good and you try to look young, your eyes can't hide it. Youth isn't about tight skin or a youthful figure, it's a feeling, an energy in your expression. Now, there's a sort of maternal feeling or gentleness in my eyes, something you just can't fake. People who are younger, their eyes are clear and bright, with none of the weariness that shows up in older eyes. It's like when we were younger, tying up a messy bun looked fresh, and now it just looks motherly, unless you're really chic and can pull it off. And the way my lips look has changed too, they just don't have the same natural color they did in my 20s.
At 36, I'm still single. People say, single women are more prone to health issues, like uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, irregular periods. I've got some of these problems now, and sometimes feel like I'm aging faster. These days, I'm often irritable for no reason, fatigued, with occasional headaches, blurry vision, and cysts. They say that without a child, women begin to feel like they're saying goodbye to life's joys and, bit by bit, to those around them. Close friends and family start moving in their own directions, while those of us without kids are left behind. If you have a child, it's different, you get to experience life with them, their laughter and tears, and you feel more hopeful. I'm 36 now, though, and I don't know if having kids is still in the cards for me. Just thinking about it makes me anxious, keeps me up all night.
My boyfriend and I were once deeply in love and ready to marry, but then my family's expectations started to stand between us. My family insists on 400,000 yuan in dowry, a car, and a house, with the property solely in my name. My boyfriend said nothing when he heard this. After a few days, I went to his place, hoping for some understanding, but he looked at me with resignation and said, "I'm sorry, but I don't think we're right for each other." I was shocked. Our love had been so strong. Why would he suddenly feel this way? He admitted that his family's finances couldn't meet our demands, and even if they managed it, we'd struggle afterward. His words felt like a knife, leaving me questioning everything. My family only wants what's best for me. But is this really what I want? The man I love is genuine, someone I can't blame. But faced with this reality, I don't know how to choose. When I told my parents about his reaction, they were disappointed, telling me, "We're just looking out for you." I know they want me to have a secure life, but can happiness only come from money and material things? My boyfriend and I talked again, and I told him that I didn't want to lose our relationship over money. He was surprised, then softened, and told me he didn't want to give up on us either. But if this demand was too much for him, I'd understand. He held my hand and told me he'd try, but he needed my understanding too. I realized then that love isn't about give and take. It's something we both have to build and nurture. We spoke to my parents again, and they reluctantly said, "We'll lower the dowry to 300,000, but the car and house are non-negotiable." We stood there, each unsure of what to say, feeling lost in this struggle between love and expectations.